DB. Oh, sorry, microphone cut out there. Hey, DB Wild. Hey, Sam Jackson. Awesome, you guys can join us. Yeah, so crazy shit going on. Like, holy cow. I know we're gonna be doing some games here in a minute, but NS, I'm gonna say I have arrived because saying I came, especially in a public chat, sounds gay. Well, yeah, because Patriot says I have arrived. So, oh man, why am I drinking chamomile tonight, guys? I have no energy. I am so tired. So at work, I have no air conditioning. So in my warehouse, it gets like to be, oh, whatever the temperature outside is. And today it was a balmy, humid, high 80s. And so I was working in that wonderful environment all day. All right, no sweat, Mahendra will be here. Yes, but I'm doing chamomile, so I'm not up all night. Been way too much caffeine in my system the last couple days. But given that Stop Killing Games is wrapping up, I guess, in a few hours here, I wanted to talk about that real quick, as well as this YouTube thing, and then, of course, what was it, Collective Shout, this weirdo activist organization. Let me see here. I say I've arrived after I come. Oh my god. Oh, it's like, oh, spot on. For the best source of energy is a white line that starts with a C and ends with an E. You might be right about that, NS. Dude, honestly, I've never done drugs in my life, okay? Not my thing. I barely drink. I like being sober. My wife and I joke all the time that, like, oh, okay, is this the day we go pick up some edibles or something? Because there are some days where it's like, shit, I need something just to chill out. What is this from Wired? Gamers are furious about censorship of NSFW games. Is there an actual update on this? Let me go to Twitter. Let me go to the twatter. Cheese. Yeah, I don't think he's talking about cheese. Something tells me he's not talking about cheese. Let me see here. I've sent out some stuff to myself that I needed to remember that I saw. So hang on. Well, I guess we got Dunkin' Donuts and Arby's joining in on this whole, the hell is this? Everyone likes drugs, it's just biology. Very healthy for YouTube comments. Well, I guess I could probably like curate it and work around some of the phrasing or whatever. Oh, I can't talk. I can't say that. Oh my god. Oh no, Patriot. I had like 4 bottles of water today. On top of my coffee intake, my energy drink, which is already like super. I don't do like Monster energy drinks or Red Bull. We get those like stupid Alani things at Costco that are like super low sugar and stuff. Hmm. To be fair, I don't even know if those things are effective or not. But I guess like they have less sugar and they get all their caffeine from green tea and stuff. So I'm scrolling through here. I don't see anything else. Oh, here's another one. Okay. Shit, there is so much retardation in the world right now. That's crazy. We had Joey Swole, that influencer, that fitness dude, basically cucking out. I think I saw this already. Hang on. This thing about Xbox age verification. Yeah, we already talked about that. All right, I can get rid of those. Going off the wagon? Who's going off the wagon? I've been crafting gelatin, working on a workout gelatin formula full of protein and vitamins, considering making a coffee version. Caffeinated pre-workout gelatin. Wait, is it like a pre-workout thing, or is it like a recovery thing, or what? I sent something to myself because I got no. Oh no, no, I've got people I send stuff to, but usually if there's something like really messed up, there's something that like, my wife will send me something or I'll send it to her just to hang on to later on. But yeah. Anyone see Keir Starmer looking like a nervous dad when CPS shows up at your home after Trump's visit? I saw something about that. I mean, I guess Keir Starmer started off saying like, "Oh yes, we're good friends" and blah 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 or whatever, and then I guess Trump said, "No, we're not," or I don't know. To be honest, guys, with this whole Epstein fiasco going on, I'm not very happy right now. I'm not a big Trump fan at the moment. Um, got I've got more questions than answers right now. I was telling my mom today, I was talking to my mom about this. I'm like, I DB Wild, I'll be your friend if you're too lonely. I appreciate you, dude. No, it's all good. Um, no, so I was trying to explain to her because she's not necessarily plugged into everything going on in the world. Explaining to her why I'm kind of irritated with Trump right now. And I'm like, I miss 2016 Trump. Where's 2016 Trump, where we felt like, everything was going our way and the economy was booming and my bank account was getting fatter, my bills were paid. Like, where did that go? I did the thing. What did I do, Remy? Oh, yeah, are you talking about going live? Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, lock her up. Nah, man, I never bought into the whole lock her up thing. I knew that wasn't happening. That was kind of a gimmick that a lot of people fell for. It's nice to think about. Sukkah Blyat, that American jihadi beard, is really setting time to turn that. Dude, it's getting ridiculously long, okay? Like, incredibly, yeah, over the top. I told my daughter I need to trim it, and she's like, "No, you're not. You shouldn't," because she's determined that we're gonna braid this thing. Okay, she thinks we're gonna braid this thing at some point. I don't see that that's ever gonna happen. I think I have the wrong type of hair for that. 2016, you were actually nearly out of debt. Yeah, no, 2016, I was out of debt. Hang on, I think I got the music to stop. Maybe. As long as I'm keeping the bushes trimmed. Oh, man. Well, that doesn't grow on my face, so that doesn't matter. No, dude, honestly, we were kicking ass and taking names between my wife's business and my work and extra money we were putting away and paying off all of our credit card debt. It's getting ridiculously long. Me hearing woke chicks crying after Trump won. Yeah. Go full Viking and braid a couple small bones. Problem is, I don't have any like truly Scottish or not Scottish, like Nordic Viking ancestry. I don't think I have much, if any, Scandinavian in me at all. Like I'd have to do an ancestry test, and I really don't want to give my DNA to anybody. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, let's do a quick roundup of some of the stuff we've been covering the last few weeks or months. I guess the petition for Stop Killing Games is going to come to a close sometime, I imagine, in the next few hours here, because it's already Thursday in Europe. Patriot, I'm not gay. You're forgetting that part, man. I'm really, really, really not gay. So the petition ends, the initiative ends on July 31st. So again, I guess sometime in the next few hours. It got up to almost 1.45 million, which hopefully is enough. If it actually is enough and they don't throw out too many signatures, this goes before the EU and we'll see what happens out of that. Stop Killing Games is kind of useless now? How's it kind of useless? Well, it's not going to fix games that currently exist. Oh, because Collective Shouts killed the gaming industry? I don't think they've killed it. I don't think that is necessarily a... I'm not going to be so black-pilled as to say Collective Shout has essentially killed the gaming industry. I don't think that's happened quite yet. I think it's just one more roadblock, one more hurdle, one more piece of bullshit that we didn't want to have to put up with that we got to figure out now. I mean, the whole collective shout thing, credit card process. Look, we've known for a long time that credit card processors are dicks, right? That they'll try to dictate how and when and where you spend your money. And unfortunately, it seems like the first person that gets there, it's like whichever activist organization gets there first and screams the loudest is going to get the most attention, right? They've killed thousands of games. Yeah. Stop killing games is working fine. What we need now is stop erasing games. Yeah, that's actually that's really what it's going to come down to is are developers going to be afraid to make games with certain content in them, you know? And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Even if it's a game that doesn't appeal to me, I'm not going to be the person out there saying, "Oh no, you shouldn't play this because it bothers me on some, whatever fundamental level." The problem is it's not just one specific type of game, it's completely anything open for interpretation because it's like having in what they have in Europe with like what the it's not morality clauses or morality laws. It's what do they say it when you're sacrilegious? Is it a morality law? I can't remember. We need those shitty companies to stop making games. There you go. People keep asking me what games I play, and while I consider myself a gamer, there just aren't games I enjoy being made. There are good games out there, and there are still good ones being made, but I do think that they're few and far between. Oh yeah, no, Susanna, we haven't really talked much about it. Anathema? No. So, Project Card 3 is gonna get delisted soon. Same with TV shows and same with movies. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, like, as far as movies go, the whole MCU thing got played out anyways. Like, how many superhero movies with the same exact plot line, with the same type characters, can you watch over and over and over again before you hit, like, peak oversaturation? But the funnier part is, what are these laws called? Hang on a second, guys. Someone's going to have to help me out here. Blasphemy. That's the word I'm trying to think of. Blasphemy laws. I know they have those. Don't they have blasphemy laws in the UK where like you can't say anything negative about like Islam or whatever? Go back to the 90s, early 2000s. There was a lot of games coming out every year I'd enjoy. It's not just nostalgia. No, actually, I was thinking about that because one of those like I think Rhino, one of those Twitter semi-shill video game accounts today, was tweeting out like, name a 10 out of 10 single player game. And I'm like, I can think of 20 10 out of 10 single player games, but half of them are on like GameCube and Super Nintendo and N64. It's like I have to go back a ways to realize like, holy shit, there's a lot of these games that I think are amazing games that are over 20 years old now. UK has Sharia law. Yeah. Need a gaming franchise, Demon Exterminators. You go about executing disgusting orc-looking things who look surprised on someone with modern-day obese feminists. Which cat's meowing? Oh. Okay, hey. Get off your sister. Big cat woke up and decided to bite his sister's neck. I guess the heat has him in a mood even though he's fixed. I don't know. Yes, it's called a blasphemy law, Mahendra, is what I'm thinking of. It's like where you can't say anything blasphemous even though it's not a state protected religion or it's not a like a national religion, but they say, "Oh no, it's against the, our blasphemy laws where you can't say something offensive about a religion or whatever." Remy kind of hit the nail on the head there. That's basically what it is. It's when the it's when the host country like the UK cucks out to a bunch of foreigners who have nothing in common either in culture or religion to the host country, and then they say, "Oh no, if you're in this country, you can't say anything bad about those people because that's blasphemous." It's like, well, it's not your freaking religion, you know? Just a blanket law covering speech. We need the next crusades like yesterday. No, see, NS, I am completely opposite to a lot of people who are like, "Oh, we need a fifth crusade or whatever." I think it was technically 4 crusades, right? The fourth one just fizzled out, but the third one was the most notable, even though they didn't succeed. That was the one Richard the Lionhearted was on. No, but like, I don't want to go conquer Israel or Jerusalem or Bethlehem or any of those regions and cities. I just want them to freaking stay over there. That's all I want. If a new crusade means sending all the immigrants back where they came from, I'm for that. That's cool. That's fine. I'd rather Christian blasphemy laws over the secular blasphemy laws, aka hate crimes. I disagree. I think they both suck. I think both would suck. Okay. Like, who was it? Was it Matt Walsh saying that it should be a crime to cheat on your spouse or significant other? Like an actual punishable crime? I'm like, no, bullshit. You can morally dislike something all you want, but saying that you should lock somebody up for something that they made a personal choice about, that no, I can't. No way. Deus Vult. Yeah, the problem is who's determining Deus Vult. Okay, I mean it's always what it boils down to. So this new dystopian hell that we're looking at, just if you'd rather the yeah. No matter what way you go, you're following religion and pushing morality. Yeah, it's just a different religion at that point. Have you guys seen this one? YouTube is using AI to guess your age. I mean, this shit. I don't even know what to think about this. This is nuts. When you get in religious law, you go down a slippery slope, kind of like how it was with, yeah, those kind of games. And now, yeah, exactly. You know, it's funny, Remy. I knew that they would censor your what you said on my YouTube chat, so I'm reading it off Streamlabs right now. You put that word in there, I'm like, yeah, they're not gonna show your comment. The God wills that are not, do not accept the will of their way. Well, like I've said before, when I've talked to my mom about this, because my mom's like super religious, right? And I'm like, here's my problem. A lot of times when it boils down to like when someone says that they talked to God or they heard a message from God or had some people think that they have literal conversations with God. Okay, that's fine. If you believe that, I guess I'm not going to, try to dispel that belief because who am I to say that you didn't? But my problem is there's a lot of crazy people who believe they heard from God. So it's a crime in some states. Is it still a punishable crime, though, is the question. Like, is it treated like a felony? Like, could you actually go to jail for it? Is there even a state where it's a felony, though, Susano? I'd have to see that for a fact. If you harm a homo for being a mo or harm a hetero for being a het, there's no reason you should be a worse crime than the other. Well, that's my issue with the whole hate crime thing. Yeah, so much of it. Look, we already have with things like murder where you have different sentencing, I guess, for premeditated versus crimes of passion and all that. You take into consideration this person didn't plan it, maybe they overreacted, they acted in self-defense but went too far. It's going to be treated differently than like premeditated murder, right? The issue I have there, it's like, okay, so trying to determine a hate crime, it's like, okay, this guy, either way he chose to murder somebody, but because he's white and the guy's black, and you could determine maybe he hated him for his skin color. Now we're going to say murder's worse because one's done for, it's just hate crimes are such a stupid thing. It is such a stupid classification. I hate it. Aren't felonies federal? No, I don't think so. I don't know. I've never, well, technically I think I've committed a felony, but I'm not going to talk about that. I don't know. Aren't there state and federal felonies? You want to hear crazy? I don't believe that God made man. I believe that man made God as means to explain that. Explain. That's not crazy. People have been saying that for years. I mean, I don't know his personal like religious beliefs, but wasn't that the whole Nietzsche thing about how humanity killed God because humanity got to a point where they no longer needed God as a construct? Um, yeah, I saw Mike from PA was banned on Twitch. I don't know much about him other than he's constantly like pushing the boundaries of what you should and shouldn't say. His couch is about to take a soft beating. Yeah, Patriot, that's what I was thinking. I was pretty sure felonies go state or federal. So it's a felony in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Oklahoma. 3.5 to 5 years. Almost no one actually goes to jail for it. See, that's the thing. You could say, there's some states where they have like you can't go fishing off the back of a giraffe or some shit like that, right? But because it's never enforced, it doesn't really matter that it's a felony or a misdemeanor or whatever because it's never enforced, right? Get that from an authorized attorney. Well, don't worry, man. I'm not I'm not in those states and I'm not worried about doing that. So, but yeah, YouTube is using AI to guess your age apparently. If it gets it wrong, you need to fix it yourself. Guys, don't you love this? This has all been started, I feel like, in part due to all this crap with the UK, with this whole online speech, online safety act, whatever the hell they're calling it, protect the kids. Now you got YouTube doing this bullshit. You got Collective Shout trying to like force payment processors to remove things they find objectionable. How dare they stop my giraffe? Dude, honestly, look it up. It's an actual law in a state somewhere. Because one person was dumb enough to try doing it, and so they had to make a law to stop everyone from doing it. Which is always funny because I feel like a lot of times laws are only there because one person couldn't keep their shit together. It's like everyone else was having a good time, but you kept screwing up, man. Did your comment about AI get eaten? Let me scroll up and see. Hang on. No, I just missed it. That was on me. All the strongest proponents of AI are going to be having an existential crisis the further AI progresses. There's no doubt about that. Laws get weird. Well, law always gets weird. I'm the first person to say I wish we didn't have to have police. And I'm also the first person to say I understand why we have to have police. If you steal stuff, you have to report the value to the IRS. Oh my god. That's exactly how my company works. One of my coworkers screws up and suddenly new processes and paperwork are required. Yeah, exactly. That's how they got Capone. Wow. So you're not allowed to walk a pet alligator on a leash. My former home state is not even known for alligators. Dude, that's what I'm talking about. There's always this shit that comes up because one person had to go and ruin it for everybody else. All right, so it says age verification on the internet used to be a bit of a joke. Whole thing worked on the honor system. I'm old enough to remember that, for real. But that internet's rapidly being left in the past. Depending on where you live, some sites and services are verifying the ages of their users. See, this wouldn't affect me because I already had to do like ID verification for YouTube for like the monetization process and all that. So between Twitter and YouTube, they've already got all my identification anyways. But for somebody who's just trying to use YouTube, this is going to be some bullshit right here. First person to say giving women the right to vote was one of the biggest mistakes the West made. Well, yeah, see, I'm of the belief that we would be better off if women weren't allowed to vote. But I'm also of the mind that unfortunately that genie's already out of the bottle and there's nothing you can do about it now. Although, NS, did you see that there's a new study that came out that showed that even women, that the largest demographic to swing right wing from left is actually men and women, that there are more women joining right wing political movements than there are left wing? It's crazy. A lot of modern based women feel the same. Yeah, DB Wild, my wife would give up the right to vote if it meant no women could vote ever again. I'm not even kidding. She's already said that if her giving up her right to vote would stop all women from voting, she'd do it. Okay. So, and contrary to popular, misconception, it's not because men want to enslave women and, chain them up in their kitchens and not let them leave all day and keep them barefoot and pregnant 24/7. I have 3 kids. I don't want more kids. I can cook myself. I don't mind washing the dishes. These are not things where it's like all men are these cave dwelling trolls who just want to beat women and impregnate them all the time. It has nothing to do with it. Women were the deciding factor in 2016. Yeah, never did analysis on 24. I imagine it was even more of a swing to the right because less women voted for Kamala than they did for Hillary, as far as I remember. Constant influx of rapists from, but see, NS, there are still women. There are still women who are going to defend the immigrants, regardless of how many times we see the same stories with the same pictures, with all these stories over and over again where these women are being assaulted by these men who are not from here, and yet they're still gonna defend it. Why don't I want to let you play BioShock? You can play BioShock. I mean, I have BioShock. I've never downloaded it, but it's there. It's ready to go. Well, I mean, everybody swings more conservative as they get older. That's traditionally like a statistic that's been proven time and time again. But I think it's the younger generation. It's like the 21 to 29-year-old women that are swinging right, which is crazy. Really crazy. Let me see here. Mic lower than normal? Yes. And I don't know why. So that's the weirdest thing, because I was messing with my freaking settings at work. Not that I've recorded a video at work in like 3 weeks, because I've been freaking like crazy busy. But I was messing with my microphone because I got a new one that I tested out that turned out to be a complete Chinese piece of bullshit that they refunded me for and told me, don't even send it back. We don't want it back. Okay. So then I was messing with my old Blue Snowball microphone at work. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to figure out how to make this thing sound better. Well, one of the videos I was watching about the sound quality on the Blue Snowball turned down the gain, the max volume on the computer, but up the gain in OBS. It actually made it sound a little bit better. The problem I'm finding, though, is even though my microphone is turned up on my home computer, different microphone, different computer, when I got back to Streamlabs at home, something in the audio settings had changed from work to here that have messed with the input volume settings of my microphone here. How do I not see anything on my screen and not dark theme? This is just Windows settings right here. The only reason it's blinding like this is because this is Windows. I've never bothered with like my sound settings to change that to dark mode. Everything else on my computer is in dark mode. NS, you and that line of merchandise. Well, no, Patriot, he's not wrong. The microphone is a tiny bit quieter. It's been that way ever since I started messing with the one at work. I don't know why. The only thing I changed in OBS, because again, your OBS settings stay the same regardless of which computer you're on, was I changed the sound gate a tiny bit to be more open at work. Maybe it's more closed. I can't remember. That was it. That was all I changed. I did not change the max volume on the microphone. It's here. The input on my computer settings is 100%. On OBS, it's at 100. But I noticed in some of my recording for my videos that some of it was turned down a little bit. So I don't know. Latest Zelda, great fairies and are morbidly obese, sexy. The classic ones were no, you're not wrong. I noticed that when I was playing Breath of the Wild. Because it was always kind of awkward as a kid playing like Ocarina of Time and stuff, and your mom might walk in the room and like the Great Fairy pops out of the fountain and she's basically naked, but she's got like the flowers around her and stuff, right, to make her not naked. So, it's one of those as a young teen, it's a really awkward moment. The ones in the new game in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they're like, and they look more like drag queens. They look like fat drag queens. It's the weirdest thing. Mahendra, I don't know anything about, because I saw Hypnotic had done a video on the game mouthwashing, on the itch.io situation with Collective Shout. I don't know anything about that. I have no idea. That's one piece of this that I have not actually dug into yet. Yeah, NS, I keep everything on dark mode. My computer at work, everything's in dark mode. It's just my Windows settings. I have never actually changed the default to dark on that kind of stuff. Let me see here. You really enjoyed it, but you're not used to horror other than Luigi's. Luigi's Mansion is not horror, man. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean, but dude, Luigi's Mansion is not even close to horror. How many people use YouTube in my family? Well, my wife uses it from time to time. I don't know. How often do you actually go on YouTube on your own? I don't. She doesn't. We got Eugenio back. All right. That's like the last minute possible, right? Trade deadline's tomorrow, yeah? Cool. No, she doesn't really use YouTube. My kids do. They have their channel that they upload some stuff to, and they watch like the silly, stupid stuff, the Italian brain rot or whatever the hell that crap is. It's a haunted mansion. Yes, but it's not horror, man. Dude. Dude, no. All right, DB Wild says TLDR. Mouthwashing devs were saying that Itch pulled their game for its rating, but it was never rated on Itch. The Itch site for mouthwashing was an unrated post that only linked to Steam to buy it. So did they choose to pull the game themselves? I don't like OBS because it resembles obese in appearance as a word. Please change the name or I'll go after the payment processors. Oh, man. No, but Patriot, you're right about the whole Zelda fairy thing. Something about them in the newest games really bothered me, and I think it's because they look like fat men in drag. It's the weirdest thing. Canonically horror. Well, maybe I don't know. Again, it's like a 10 plus game, right? So maybe if you're on the younger side, you'll find it scary. But I don't think you're going to find it, like, if you Google it, like, on Amazon or something, is it going to be listed as a horror game? Is horror going to be a tag on it? I don't know. Itch pulled the game back in October for going around their TOS, really? Oh, and unrated automatically get tagged as NSFW. Well, that almost makes sense in a way. Because if you're not going to rate your game and they don't know what kind of content's on it, I mean, they're probably going to have to be like, to be on the safe side, you have to assume it's NSFW, wouldn't they? Luigi is horror in the same way Mario is horror to Abu. Never forget when GitLab went and RM production. What are we talking about? For those who know, don't remember how much of a shit show that was. I don't think I remember anything about that. Why does my tea smell? My chamomile tea smells and tastes weird tonight. I don't even want any more of it. It's the weirdest thing. Normally I like it. It's like relaxing and shit. YouTube ban only applies to Australia. Okay. So this is going to be expanded though to the US, I thought, is what I saw. In a blog post on Tuesday, my bad, YouTube announced it would start rolling out machine learning to a small pool of users over the coming weeks, specifically to estimate how old they are. YouTube wants to identify whether a user is teen or an adult. Remember, YouTube intends for its service to be used only by users 13 and up and assumes any users younger than that are on YouTube Kids. The AI does not necessarily pay attention to the age listed in the account. This is the retarded part. Again, my kids have a YouTube Kids account, and my accounts I'm all age verified on because I have monetization in my ID and like in the whole AdSense thing set up. So why would it not take my actual verified age into consideration? As YouTube assumes some users might be misrepresenting how old they are. Well, then that's on the parents to worry about. Rather, these new programs look at identifying habits that are associated with age groups. That includes things like the types of videos a user might be searching for, the style of video they've been watching, or how old the account is. If the AI determines that the user is an adult, that user can continue to use YouTube as they normally would. However, should the AI infer that the user is a teen, the site will implement age-appropriate protections.
Do I need to be liked? Absolutely not.
What are you doing to me here, man?
Do I need to be liked? Absolutely
Something smelling
not.
dystopian.
I like to be liked. I enjoy being liked. I have to be liked.
Also, that ban is not through the YouTube. Australia's law did this with everything there. Yeah, Australia's cucked though, dude. NS man with the 5 gifted memberships, dude. You gotta chill. You've been doing that a lot lately, okay? you gotta chill, man. I don't deserve it, but I appreciate the hell out of you. Yeah, something smelling dystopian here. What else does it say? Aside from Florida, there's no plans for this in the US. Florida requires kids be at least 16 or have parental consent. Oh, interesting. Yo, you got somebody named Boo Boo with a gifted membership, dude. That's awesome. Finger slipped. I don't think that was your finger, man. Just saying. We had all those conversations about repealing the 19th, and all of a sudden you got excited. But yeah, if you saw that, if you watched the stream and you got a gifted from NS, make sure to tell him thank you. It's kind of like YouTube is becoming your parents and then you. Yeah. Hey, Vernum. They have no choice in Australia. Well, Australia's cucked. Yeah, no, NS can't pick. See, that is the one thing, the one area where Twitch is ahead of YouTube. Well, there's a couple areas as far as like the interactivity. God, I'm retarded. Interactivity on Twitch. There's a lot more user-related activities you can do on Twitch, whereas with freaking YouTube, it's kind of a shit show, you know? So, Quillpig, you tagged me on Discord, says mouthwashing is still delisted, and then itch.io responded and said the game hasn't been indexed since October 2024 since it didn't meet our indexing criteria. They're using a download button as a link to Steam. Developer took down the playable files from this page in 2024. Huh. Well, is using a download button as a link to Steam to link off platform against their TOS as well? I don't know beyond going to itch.io once or twice in covering people who were indie developers. I'm not sure. I've never purchased a game through that site, so I don't know how that all works. I don't know what their terms of service are like. They could just stop supporting Australia. I'd be okay with that. Florida has the same law for YouTube my old home state has for getting frisky. If parental consent is given, a minor can get with a non-minor. Another weird law. Ew. Well, okay, but here, DB, over here in Washington, 16 is old enough to consent with an adult, and that's just disgusting. So, gonna go start your day. All right, dude, appreciate you. Thanks again for the gifted, man. You are awesome. What did I do, Smeg? What did I do now? Hey, it's not my fault. I don't make the rules here. I find it disgusting too, man, okay? Australia has desert and half green country. It's a weird place. Originally, YouTube was going to be except from this. Not sure what happened. I don't know, man. I can't keep track of everything. Oh, half desert, half green country. Oh. I thought that was in response to the comment about my home state having age of consent being 16, man. No, dude, I feel the same way about Australia as I do about a lot of other places. The people I'm sure are awesome. I'd love to visit the country, but the government sucks. So when I say screw Australia, that's what I'm talking about. It's not you guys, it's your government. It's all the rules, the authoritarian crap, the regulations, the mommy and daddy government, helicopter parenting, being up everybody's ass, getting in their business. Hey, Lugia. Download button should be a way to download, not a redirect to somewhere else. That alone would make me ban them from my site, my honest opinion. Yeah, I could kind of understand that too. That's kind of seems like weird, shady behavior. Yeah, 14 used to be an adult, but they also held a whole lot more responsibility. Now it feels like you must be 30 to be an adult. Single government that doesn't suck? No. Yeah, and screw the emus. Weird ass birds. Oh, not too much, Lugia. We're gonna check out some more Killing Floor 3 in a few minutes, but we were just talking about stop killing games and YouTube putting in AI to double check whether or not you are as old as you say you are. Yeah. Most of these things when people talk about Australia has no effect on me. Dude, I feel okay. So I live in a state. Look, everyone knows Seattle, Washington, right? Because Seattle is one of the 7 worst cities in the country because it's been a liberal hellhole for years. And it's true. I hate going to Seattle. Homeless, crackheads, crime, it sucks, right? However, I live far enough away from Seattle that although there's laws in Washington, like when they put the laws through about like being able to buy a 30-round magazine or certain things about types of weapons you can buy, if I go online to purchase anything, I have to deal with that bullshit. Now, there are private sellers, or there's even businesses. There's gun stores here that will say, I'm not putting up with that shit. You want to buy this, you can buy this, you know? There's a lot of them, actually. But the crazy thing is, other than like taxes and crap, the dystopian liberal hellhole state that Washington is advertised as, it doesn't affect most people who live outside of the cities. If you don't live in a big city, like there is so much like redneck blue collar country in this state, it's not even funny. There's like so many people who are just like doing their own thing, couldn't give two shits about the government. It's crazy. Emu tastes good though. It's rich and feels like Taco Bell. Interesting. So it's like I don't even want to. I don't want to try to imagine what emu tastes like. Reason our founding fathers in the U.S. classified government as a necessary evil. Yeah, it's mostly just Seattle like that. Yeah, Seattle and Olympia. Olympia, the capital, is exactly the same way as Seattle. It's just smaller, but it's also gross. Never bought any guns from gun store. Grand Theft Auto guns or games. Yeah. Used to sell emu eggshells with yolks blown out for $50 as decorations for rich ladies. You know, that makes sense. Yeah. No, dude, honestly, most of Washington is pretty chill. Like most your regions, most your cities are going to be like a mix of, they're purple. They're normal Democrats and normal conservatives, and there's only like a few fringe weirdos on the outside, the outskirts of it. And then there's the cities, and the cities are hell. Otherwise, the U.S. is a racist war zone. However, you're not actually. You're not that far off about that. That one's actually not. Unfortunately, okay, guys, story time. Story time. Hang on. Since we're talking about this anyways, about perception, about the way that people are versus the way that they're portrayed online. Unfortunately, there are people that exist within those normal areas where you think they're totally nice, normal people, and then they turn out to be complete lunatics. All right, so my mom's going through a breakup. She's moving out. She has to find a new place. One of her old neighbors from her ex's house is trying to sell her house. And she's like, oh, yeah, I can't find a buyer. The economy sucks. The market, the housing market's turned to crap. So her house has been listed forever and nobody wants to buy it. So my mom had this idea. She's like, hey, would you rent it to me? And this gal's like, absolutely. That sounds awesome. Hell, I'm not even going to charge you that much. You don't even have to pay, you can pay like half of what the mortgage is. Who knows? And so when they all boiled down, when they all went down to talking about the actual specifics of when she can move in and getting a lease drawn up, the gal had to stop her and say, okay, now I have to be a little personal about some stuff, right? And my mom's like, that's fine, whatever. And the gal's like, recently I have become extremely radically liberal. And I cannot align myself with anybody who at any point has supported Donald Trump. So if you have, I can't rent to you. Now, this is a woman that my mom's known for a while. They're not like best friends, but, neighbors. And is a otherwise seemingly pleasant person, telling my mom that I've become so radically liberal that if I have to align myself with anybody who voted for Trump, I'm going to just avoid that at all costs, essentially, right? I'm like, first off, that's illegal. I'm pretty damn sure that that's illegal. But further beyond that, it's like, these are people who you otherwise would think are totally nice, normal people. And I'm like, where does she buy her groceries? Does she ask her dentist who he voted for before she lets him, work in her mouth and stuff? Yeah, it's crazy, guys. So I talk about the cities like the cities are the only places you're going to find these crazy weirdo people, but everyday normal people living among everyday normal people who otherwise seem totally nice and normal are doing this kind of crap, The crazy's out of the bag when you admit you've been radicalized? Yeah. Ideology is more important than people, basically. Oh yeah, no, they'll never actually move an illegal immigrant into their house. They just want you to pay for it. Fatigue is driven by population density. Population density is an issue, sure. It's a secular religion, yeah. You could get behind a law like that. What are you talking about? Want laws banning mega cities, max capacity per square acre at 10,000? Yeah, that sounds nice, but that's not ever going to happen, unfortunately. So it just is what it is. So that was kind of my little 2 cents about that, because it seems that no matter, even if you're talking about people that would otherwise not seem like complete unhinged lunatics, you're still going to deal with these kind of people. And that goes back to trusting, mommy and daddy governments and AI and these other platforms to not mess up your information or your privacy or whatever. So what if YouTube's AI gets your age wrong? So you're 18 or older, but for some reason YouTube thinks you're a minor. In this case, the burden of proof concerning your age is not on YouTube, but on you. According to their press release, if you're incorrectly labeled as teens by YouTube's AI, you can appeal, but you must present a form of identification. A YouTube rep did say a selfie would be an acceptable form of proof. I'd be interested to know how many users find themselves in this position. It's not magic, obviously, and in fact, AI frequently gets things wrong. There are plenty of adults out there that might watch YouTube videos the site associates with younger viewers, especially if those adults are only 18 or 19. This is going to be a shit show, guys. This is going to be absolutely insane. Just don't shave. Yeah, I'll never have that problem again. Oh, man. Send those people to the UK or Australia. Mahendra, have you not seen that? Those, in the UK, for, what is it, PlayStation or something, with this Online Safety Act that went through, these kids have been using images of the dude from Death Stranding and holding their phone up with the face on it to, like, the camera, or sending that in as a picture as, like, a selfie. And it's been verifying them as adults. How about they fix the disappearing comments issue first? Yeah, that'd be great. That would work. Oh, see, Quill Pig, that's like 4D chess right there, man. That's a brilliant idea. So Collective Shout has basically locked down their LinkedIn. I haven't seen this. Did they actually lock down their LinkedIn? As well now, and deleted almost every reply made to any of their posts. Good going, ladies. You look very trustworthy when you can't stand criticism and need to mute everyone. Now you've also got Spotify saying that they'll delete your account unless you complete age verification. I believe this is in the UK. Again, it's starting in the UK and it's going to start spreading everywhere else. Gonna use first descendant photo mode. I'm a big titty waifu. Yeah, you and me too, David. You and me both. Let me see. And to be fair, if you think smaller countries aren't a testing pool for bigger ones, I don't know what to say. The U.S. has big influence on our country. No, it's true. Smeg, you're not wrong. I will own all of our shit over here. Like, every little bit of it. The U.S., unfortunately, has meddled so much in every other country. I mean, for like at least the last 80 to 100 years, where, oh my God, it's just, that's a whole different rabbit hole. I don't even go there. There's just so much bad. So much bad. It's just not worth it. Oh man. You posted Newgrounds age verification policy, best you've seen so far. All right, let me see if I can find that. So it says Newgrounds approach to verifying age is interesting and transparent. It says, what is Newgrounds? Maybe you can put that in the chat. Regarding age verification, here's our current plan for the UK. If your account is more than 10 years old, we assume you're currently over 18. It'll determine if your email's been used for a long time. We have our own long-term data, so we'll use that. If your account ever bought supporter status with a credit card, we can confirm that with payment processors. We'll assume you're over 18. If your account ever bought supporter status more than 2 years ago, we'll assume you're over 18 because you have to be at least 16 to have PayPal. None of it applies. You'll have the opportunity to pay a small one-time fee via credit card as confirmation. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Well, couldn't they do a verification and do like a chargeback? So, for example, a lot of times when you're setting up a new account, they'll charge you like $1 and then refund the dollar later on. Couldn't they just do that? We're not planning to offer things like ID checks or facial recognition because these require us to pay a third party to confirm each person. Because Newgrounds runs at a loss and doesn't monetize users well, this is not an option for us. As Wire noted, Big Tech is the only winner of the Online Safety Act because smaller websites can't afford to keep up with this sort of regulation. That's very true. That's very interesting. It's where Flash games have been posted since the early 2000s. Okay, okay. The U.S. worked with the Queen to depose a PM here, yeah. If you're paying subscriber of a service like Spotify, does not require you are paying with some form of bank card. So, DB, I think that the situation is if you are using a free account and you haven't designated yourself as a kid. So, for example, I have a family because we have 5 of us, and my kids like to listen to music at the gym. It's like $20 a month, and we all 5 have commercial-free music. My kids have kids accounts that edits out like explicit content and stuff. That right there wouldn't have to be verified because they already have said I'm a child, therefore they're not worried about them being exposed to explicit content. But again, that falls on me as the parent to parent them. You know, I'm the parent. I should be parenting them. So if they're listening to explicit content, that's on me. But still, in that situation, yes, the adults, we have one account that we are paying for. Like, because I'm the primary on the account, maybe you would ask my wife for age verification. I don't know. I have no idea. But again, this is still just the UK. Beautiful Joe. Oh, I've heard of Beautiful Joe, actually, and Alien Hominid. Yeah. Okay, so they started on Newgrounds and got onto the GameCube. Oh, interesting. Why child status or safety act needs for music? It's because the explicit music, dude. It's because there's music that is explicit. Imagine them tying the verification function to the ad system, meaning that you can't verify yourself without disabling ad block. Hey, Empress. Hopefully the puppy's feeling better this morning. Let me see. They're just trying to screw up the internet over there. They're screwing up for everybody, though. The T-app route and use camera pics for registration. Do they want pictures of little kids? Yeah, exactly. That would be a whole new ball of wax. I had classmates back in grade school who were shaving daily. The dude was 12 and had more facial hair than me. Dude, I started shaving at 11. Okay. I literally started shaving at 11. Lyric or non-lyrics music, it doesn't matter because it's all there's explicit and there's non-explicit, and so on the kids version of the Spotify app, they don't allow you to listen to explicit music. So that's a thing also. Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be a shit show. But apparently this YouTube AI thing is gonna roll out in 2 weeks. It says effective August 13th. This is nuts. Like, this is genuinely retarded. I do not understand this. Other than the fact that, like again, the one that Quillpig sent me was saying, if they're using it as a means to squash smaller sites who can't afford the verification process, then that would make sense. That would absolutely fit, you know, the narrative of what they're trying to do. So next they'll say age of consent needs to be lowered. Dude, I am officially on board saying the age of consent should be, for every state, no matter where you are, minimum of 18, and nobody should be voting or doing anything like that until they're maybe 21, or maybe even go the route that I've said for a long time I hate. We'll see how he looks when he gets up. All right. Had to start shaving in 4th grade. Got called Sasquatch a lot in my younger years. Yeah, I could understand that. There's a lot of explicitly bad music. My AI music blasts so much that's out of the water. That's how bad the swamp is. Dude, Patriot, okay. Here's the thing. We all talk about how bad music is nowadays. There's also a lot of good music, but you can't listen to what's popular. You can't just listen to the popular music and be like, oh, this is all shit. Of course it's shit. It's popular. The music industry, much like Hollywood, only puts out what they want you to hear. So, like, okay, so I start down this rabbit hole of listening to one Swedish metal band, and that gets me onto 30 other bands from Sweden and Denmark and you know, all the other Scandinavian countries. And then by, you know, the end of the month or the end of the 6-month period, I'm listening to 40 different bands I'd never heard of that have been around for like 25 years. And it's like all great music, you know? There is plenty of amazing music. You just have to maybe not listen to what's popular, you know? Indicative of longer... You know, Patriot, I just don't think we're gonna have that kind of conversation right now. 25 for voting, 21 for anything like loans and credit, 18 for mandatory service. I would say 21 for voting, 25. Well, Here's the thing. If you're old enough to get a loan from a bank and be responsible to have to pay it back, then you're probably old enough to vote. So I would say voting and age for like a loan, you could do the same thing. But manual labor though, I don't know if I care. Dude, honestly, I would rather that people get their kids into like trade schools, tech schools, those kind of things, than say, oh, you turn 18, you're in forced manual labor camps. Like, I don't know about that, man. Started shaving your head at 15. Why though? Why shaving your head? If you notice music from video games, it means it's good music. Sure, but music from video games doesn't make it onto the radio typically. Not that often. At least not that I can recall. Most people who have a sense of like nostalgia from video game music it's not from listening to something on the radio or in a movie. It's from playing the video game. I want a micro to be really cool, the same as macro, but wouldn't. Oh my god. I've always been on the page of if you're old enough to go off and die for your country, you're old enough for everything else. Sure, but see, DB, I'm also opposed to like any sort of draft whatsoever. Like, whatever. This has nothing to do with banning accounts per Sarah Team YouTube from Google. Huh. This just changes up ads served. Wait. So this entire thing is all about what kind of ads you get, not verifying and removing accounts that don't do age verification. That's really strange. But see, okay, so yeah, but for me personally, if I wasn't already somebody who was verified because I'm a YouTuber and so I have to have ID verification through YouTube anyways, that would piss me off. I'd be like, I'm just trying to watch, how-to videos and random shit on YouTube, and you want me to scan my ID, and I don't want that, information out there. Dude, Avernum, we were heading up to Seattle for the one Mariners game we went to this year last week. And my son, he's like, he's 12. He's in the back seat. Mind you, my daughter still hasn't finished Halo 1. None of my kids have played Halo 2 and beyond. And my 12-year-old boy, who has never played a Halo game in his life, is like, hey, Dad, when we get to Seattle, you should play the Halo theme song. I'm like, why? He's like, because it sounds cool. I'm like, well, you're not wrong there. Is the government going to ban JRPG game music? I don't know about that. Well, I guess you have a point there, Quill Pig. It's all about how you look at it. But yeah, the thing about AI is AI is retarded, okay? Spend any time at all trying to rationalize or convince an AI that it got something wrong that it got wrong, and it's like talking to a toddler, Dude, Mahendra, you're going to get your wish pretty soon here because I'm going to nuke my Twitch account before Twitch ever bans me. Like, holy shit, the only thing on Twitch is freaking bots trying to sell me more bot viewers. Same with Kick. What did I miss, Mahendra? Let me see. We're talking about Attack on Titan has great music, like War in Season 1, Part and 2. Persona games. I don't know, Woodpit. She's a kid. I'm not sure why. I mean, I'm sure that you don't mean anything by it, but she's younger than my son. Don't look old enough to have a 12-year-old? Well, he's my oldest. I am a year from 40. So, I mean, if you see that at the receding hairline, it starts to gaslight you that it's right and you were the wrong. Just yesterday I realized that Grok can't even do basic calculus properly. Yeah. No, that's the problem, man. That is really the issue, is that need better light. It's because I switched cameras. It's because I switched cameras. I don't like having my light on because then it's too bright. The LEDs behind me used to work well enough with my other camera. So the quality of this camera is better than my other camera I had plugged in, except that the other camera did better in low light situations. So once I hopefully at some point in the next month get moved, fingers crossed it's someplace that has an office where I can actually set up the lighting better, this will all work better. Switching cameras sucks, yeah. You're younger and your hairline's in great recession. Mine's just been taking longer, that's all. Oh, no, she's not older than 12. So, no, she's... My younger kids, I have twins that are 10. That's my daughter and her twin brother. Iron Vinny, I'll bring some friends to join after work. Add me on my Discord is Volt Pulse. I don't know if you're a bot or if you're genuinely saying add me because you want to play. I'm sorry, I just don't generally add people randomly on Discord. See, the camera's fine. If in the proper lighting situation, the camera's decent. Didn't even know the Switch had cameras. Oh, I thought you meant switching cameras. Oh, the Switch camera? Dude, I would never waste the money on that. Play Ramstein. NS, what are you still doing here? Yeah, we talked about that on Monday, Mahendra. Your dad went bald at like 25. Basically, the camera's quality is potato level. Dude, I can all, yeah. Well, I think the hair follicles are already gone. I'm pretty sure those ones are already dead. At this point, I'd have to fly to like Turkey to get like that really cheap hair transplant situation going on. Way too many cameras? Creeps you out? Yeah. See, I could turn on my little neon YouTube light, but then it just has like red glaring at me from this side. But it's better than nothing. Ooh, that's bright. God, see, yeah, if we did that, you'd have like this red glare. Okay, focus, camera, focus. Oh my God, the camera's having a hell of a time. Turn that back down. Holy shit, that's terrible. Yo, Smeg with the 5 gifted, and of course the alerts are turned off. Hang on a second, how do I get out of here? What the crap? Dude. Smeg with the 5 gifted memberships. Holy crap, dude.
I like to be liked. I enjoy being liked.
Ah, you got Kilted Cajun. Right on, man. It's a big whale. Gifties from Australia and don't fucking forget it. Man, you know that I love it. The same way that I shit on Canada, the same way that I shit on the UK. Dude, honestly, I've said this before, or maybe I haven't embellished it enough. I don't hate any one group of people. I generally just hate governments, man. That's right, you are next to Turkey. Wayne Rooney has the worst hair transplant I've ever seen. I'm not sure who that is. Wayne Rooney. Don't go to Turkey for that. You're going to lose your gonads. Did you guys all see, I don't know if you follow Lord Miles, the British dude who he goes traveling around all crazy places and stuff around the world. He got a hair transplant, I want to say in Turkey, and his entire face was like swollen, like puffed up, like he had some sort of weird reaction. Oh, Remy the quartering hair transplant. Did he actually get a hair transplant? Because his hair looks terrible. Australia is one of the places I loved. Hamas, Diddy, Bin Laden, Epstein, Piker got a hair transplant in Turkey. He did a lot of things when he was traveling abroad with random broads of various ages. Well, good, because that's one thing us Americans are typically good at is the banter. Hey, DB, good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Get some sleep. Is it Tartars or Tartars? Like ERS? No, Miles, he should have stayed bald, man. He looked better bald. Ireland's still alright. That's because the Irish aren't putting up with it, dude. Tartars is how Kingdom Come Deliverance says. Taters. How about we just call them taters? Alright, we'll play multiplayer. So, okay. Couple weird things about this game. There's a crafting section where you can actually go and craft, like when you find upgrades and stuff within each, time you go out in there and kill shit. Well, here's skills. We'll talk about skills in a minute. Available points, 108. That's good. The weird thing about this is you can actually craft stuff at the armory, right? I was trying to do this last night. Over and over and over. Mod slots here. You go to craft. You tell it, okay, I want to craft a blade with stun or venom. It goes to crafting, and now it finally works. All last night, over and over and over again, it kept saying crafting failed, crafting failed, crafting failed. It was the weirdest thing. You have no idea what that is? Americans good at banter. I mean, obviously the Brits are going to be better than we are. There's no question there. You know, Susano, I got this from Keymailer, and unfortunately a lot of the games that they've sent me to check out, because it's mostly indie games, there have been a lot of really bad games. This one is surprisingly enjoyable. I'm actually really liking Killing Floor 3, which is weird because usually, like I said, I'll get a key for a game, I'll play it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. All right, hang on a second. What am I looking for? Who were the Tartars? Not taters, Tartars. Oh, it's Tatarstan? Tataria is a republic of Russia in Eastern Europe. Is that who we're talking about? No, I thought it was a different group of people. Hang on a second. Often written as Tartars, yes, refers to a group of Turkish-speaking people primarily found in Eastern Europe and Central Asia. Okay. Let's see. Initially, it was used as an exonym, and the name was sometimes what, Tucker? Okay, no, leave your sister alone. Leave your sister alone. I don't know why my cat is horny. He has no balls. I don't get it. But he keeps trying to, like, get his sister into it, and I'm not cool with that. Why isn't it a Ninja Turtles game? I can't play Ninja Turtles games. They're too scary, man. They're like horror games. All right, hang on. So we've got Enfeebling Venom selected here. Thought it was the Turks. It's Tower Dungeons from Persona 3 game. I never played Killing Floor 1 and 2. I wish I had. This game just came out like a week ago, man. Hey, Patriot, get some sleep, buddy. Sorry, I just saw that message. Yes, it is sad that sleep is a requirement. The Ninja Turtle comics are legit horror. Yeah, Remy, I'm actually... So I played this last night. I took the night off from doing any... No, Tekla, their brother and sister is the problem. They're both fixed, so they can't procreate. But the boy, he gets in these weird moods where he's like, give me some of that, you know? And I'm like, dude, you couldn't even get it up if you wanted to. Attack speed. Dude, I don't even try blocking, so screw it. Let's do that. No audio on the mic or the game, so likely a software issue. Yeah. Nope, nope, face cam. Here we go. Also, why is my camera not focusing? Focus, focus. All right, let me see. Is it back? Dude, literally, I did nothing different. I did absolutely nothing different. It's even quieter now. Well, I turned down the game audio a tiny bit. Microphone should still be the same, right? Like everything there should be the same. I don't know. Like, dudes, let me take a look real quick. At my sound settings here. We can still see and hear you. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Shut up. Shut up. All right, let's see here. Speakers are set to the proper device. Microphone set to the proper device from within Streamlabs here. Desktop audio is default. Monitor and output. Mic 1. Hyper Quadcast. Dude, literally, I don't know. Maybe the audio driver crashed and restored itself. Maybe. I don't know. You guys start saying I'm muted. I'm like, no, guys, literally, it's lit up. So it's not muted there. And I'm, like, let's say I used to have, like, hotkeys programmed in my keyboard when I didn't have a tap mute there, right? So bright. I know it's so bright. Look at this thing. I could have gotten it in color, but, no, dude, it was like 20 bucks more to get, like, the LED, like, rainbow, unicorn shit looking one, so. You couldn't even hear me. I said I would because they're so damn comfy. Like, for real, dude. I have a kilt, man, that I never wear. So this is... I was just starting to say this because when the audio cut out, this game has some things that aren't quite working right. This is finally working now. Last night I couldn't craft any mods for my weapons. There's also... In the sound settings, there is... Or the game settings, you can do... like, you know, push to talk for your microphone. There's no hotkey that I can find for push to talk. Oh, I don't use StreamYard. I use Streamlabs. StreamYard is a ripoff, dude. Like, holy shit. It is awful. Can't type. Ah, it's all good. Hey, Empress, if you gotta run, just get going. Guy denying reality against that. I'm not saying that you guys were crazy. I'm saying there's nothing I could do about it. God, you guys are the worst. I swear you're all coordinating this behind my back. How do I know when the audio cut out? Because you guys all started saying that it cut out. You guys are driving me crazy. I have no cosmetics, apparently. All right, let's go back. Save. I just said save. Custom katana, that works. Save. All right. Could be the game changing your audio settings too. That's possible. It's not something that I've noticed so far, but this is the first time, actually second time I've streamed this game, so take that back. Do I have family members in the UK? I do not. I have none. I complain about not having in-game cosmetics. I'm not gonna buy the game, man. Or buy the cosmetics. When did StreamYard even become a thing? Last time I tried to stream there was only XSplit and OBS. Vernum, StreamYard became a thing, I want to say, like, really big within the last year and a half. Because a lot of streamers started doing the panel streams where they just had people popping in and out. And I understand the appeal. But apparently it's like 30 bucks, 40 bucks a month or some shit like that. I don't know. No gameplay? Oh no, I'm gonna go play it right now. We're still gonna play. I have to salvage some of this shit, man. Normal, that works. I played this on hard mode and god, it's not fun.
Awaiting. Oh, and if any of you decide to bring bear spray again, make sure it's properly stored.
Patterns emerge. Flesh pound, huh? The COVID podcast boom did it? Maybe, although I wasn't watching so much of like the streamers and stuff during COVID. COVID 2021 to 2022 is when I actually started noticing like watching YouTubers covering news and commentary, that kind of stuff. Not so much like the last year and a half is more like when I actually started doing more on YouTube myself, when I noticed more people using StreamYard for like the whole, you don't like rock music, dude, get out. You're talking to a metalhead here, okay?
Happy travels.
Pretty much all I listen to on a daily basis at work is Swedish metal. All right. Operational budget. So I can't even bring the weapon that I made. Damn it! Look at that. 59.80. Although I can get it once I get enough money. Whole world changed after COVID. Yeah. All right, Empress, you too. Oh no, Cool Pig. Hard mode sucked ass, man. It was terrible. It was either hard or nightmare or some shit like that. It was awful, man. My mom said I was the best one. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Although, to be fair, this isn't the easiest character to use because everything you're doing is melee. There are some range stuff, like you can use these guys here, but... Oh, there's already a lot of these boys. Oh my god. I'll catch up with you guys in a second. This is a little too intense right now. We got 31 left. All right. So I don't know how to do like the actual push to talk. I can't find the hotkey for that. I cannot find the hotkey to ping anything. So I don't know how to ping enemies on the map. I tried like the middle mouse button. That's for switching firing modes. It might be easier if I was playing on a controller, but honestly, I don't do most first-person games on controller anymore. Yeah, 7 left. More Bioshock story to uncover. All right, Cool Pig, take it easy. Hey, Cage. Wave complete. Oh, only 735, really? Damn. Worst one is anime becoming mainstream and tourists invade anime community. Yeah. Push to talk is K. Ping is Alt. Oh, thank you.
Go here.
Locate station log in the radar control room. Well, first let's buy something.
He's been using some sort of marking to communicate with his fellow troublemakers.
Let's refill our armor. Autofill is 222. Let's do autofill first, upgrade the armor, and then secondary weapon or no? We're gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off on the secondary weapon. Upgrade armor one more time. We're gonna go free balling it, just sticking with, crap, what am I looking for? Where's... The thing is, you're trying to, like, complete mission objectives while you're also doing the survival wave, and having a hard time finding some of these objectives. You're sleeping, but you're here. Man, I can relate to that so well. Everything that became mainstream is going downhill. Just look at Warhammer. Dude, are we still giving, like, any hope that, what is it, Warhammer from, you know, Amazon's going to be good at all? Because I would love to think that Warhammer under, like, Henry Cavill and all that shit would be good. I just don't know, man. I don't know if it's worth holding out hope. As somebody who's never really gotten into Warhammer yet, I would love to be able to just like watch a show that kind of like pretty well spells it out for some of us. The part that worries me is that it's Amazon. Hell, oh my god, jumpers. These guys are nasty. Oh no, you can dismember things after they're dead in this game. They better tell somebody. Most vanilla strip stories with no edge. Oh man. Well, Games Workshop has done everything they can to kind of strip it of its true identity, haven't they? Gave away the three books he had. Oh shit. Come here, boys. Oh shit. Yeah, some of the enemies get really big. Some of the bosses are crazy. 66 left. Amazon did fall out right for those of us like me who don't play the games. There were a lot of complaints people had about Fallout. Like I legit heard a lot of complaints, even though the show did really well, and I actually thought it was really enjoyable. But again, I'm not a Fallout guy, so that begs you to ask: was it actually good, or was it good for normies like me who had never really cared about the game series? You know.
Just have to reload.
Was somebody asking what the game it was? Yeah, Killing Floor 3. Something Collective Shout probably wouldn't like very much. You know, all them incels killing things. We got somebody down? Or is that an enemy? Oh, it's an enemy. That's it. Still on a proper Fallout 1 and 2 remake or something, not the Wasteland theme park from Todd. So, the way I look at it, the show had a lot of things I liked about it. I can understand if people thought that maybe it didn't do the game's justice. Like, I get it. I understand that. But at the same time, I feel like what we got was pretty damn good. I don't know. Gonna hang on to my money. If I trade that in, I get 1,100 back. I want to get my big katana, my custom katanas.
I deserve that.
Well, that's gonna cost 5,980. Yeah, the New Vegas crowd didn't like it. It was mostly the Fallout 4 crowd and those who didn't know the IP. Yeah, and that's the thing is I am not a... I'm not a Fallout guy. So for me, I didn't really have much experience to pull from there. I really should pick up one of these multi-tool things instead of the shock traps. Why am I stuck? Oh my god. Hey, Hook. You played them all, the show was fine? Well, see, and then there's opinions like that. Bakersfield mod, what is that one?
That's a wrap. Pod's closed.
Okay, back to our regular
Oh, juicy.
programming. Now let's find out if Captain Hendricks
Hey, boys.
literally flushed and down to the basement.
They are no longer the army.
The game lore doesn't match the game lore? Well, that's a problem. Yeah, these things are a little hard to aim. You gotta aim at the center of the screen without actually having a target to use. a hell of a time with these. No flesh pounds? What do we mean flesh pound? What are we talking about? What is this? Oh shit, I'm supposed to be doing mission objectives too. Oh crap. Alright, hang on. Locate garage basement. Where's the door? Are we in the basement?
We'll have to empty the sewer line.
Here we go.
But it appears that the captain has tampered with it. See if you can locate anything that can serve as a makeshift waste valve handle. Oh, that should do.
Ah, I used a grenade, damn it.
Audible rush of water.
Why did I do that? Wait, further communication. Alright.
If you'll indulge us, we should have your next order shortly.
Feeling forward to, there was a level boss called the Flesh Pound that was tanky. There's, they're in here, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I know what you're talking about, and they're in here. Where the hell is he? I can't see him. Woo! Perfect parry. Alright, there we go. Lower level version like Fleshlight. There you go. Shit, get out of here.
Yeah! Don't even come at me with that shit!
3 left. It's basically a Fallout 1 remake done in an old school Doom engine, as bad as it sounds. It sounds like it could be pretty cool. Yo, can somebody find the last enemy? There we go.
おしっこしたい。
Dude, that hurt. Come on, man. Really? Alright, refill. Autofill and upgrade. If I don't upgrade my armor. Oh no, that's still not enough. Ah, we're gonna upgrade. Dude, hopefully I'll get enough to actually get my weapon. 5980. What do we got here? Ooh, syringes. I've already got those. Yo, if you hold this down, do you get different options? Oh, you do. Request ammo, follow me, request healing, request dosh. Request help. Oh, you can switch it. Thank you. Oh, that's cool.
Many thanks.
One more round, I should be able to get my katana. Let's just not die. Please don't die.
Pod is closed.
Splendid.
Sewage in the
We must
ravine.
find
Really?
the ravine where that sewer
Where the hell's the
line
ravine at?
discharges. There we are. Now, sort
Oh, I'm already here.
You've already mucked about with plague
Wait,
corpses
current survival
once
match.
in
Dude,
a
that's
war
it. All we gotta do is
series.
survive now. Sweet.
GPS tracker. Bring it back to base, specialist.
This is running a little sluggish now. One of the things I thought was pretty cool about this game so far was even being connected to servers, it actually ran really well, but this is getting a little jumpy.
Simple satisfaction of a good float pop.
I'm gonna stand right here by this guy.
Need to reload. A quarter down. You're doing great.
What is my man here doing? Resupply. Oh, I'm not gonna resupply. No need. Oh my god, where did I just fall to? Oh shit. Description's the extent of my knowledge. It absolutely blew up like a week or two ago because of some fans and it caught everyone off guard with how impressive it is. Oh, interesting. What we got here? Armor. Yes, please. Oh, shit. Take that. Oh, somebody else took the armor. Come on, man.
Clean up on aisle 5!
この生活にうんざりします。
Alright, 1228. I think I can go get my katana now. Ooh, we get a mutation. Nice. I'm not gonna buy it though. So if I sell back this, I can get my katana. Alright. Sell for 1100. Yay! Alright. Autofill is gonna cost more than I have. We'll just fill the armor.
Buying in a desperate rush is the best way to shop.
Oh, this man's sitting on 1400. That's not cool. Screw it, that's enough. Yay! We got katanas! Alright, are we on the boss wave now? I think we're on the boss wave. All I know is I'm gonna get cooked. No, looks like we're doing 6 waves. Ooh, boy. All these guys are freaky.
I've got this under control.
Yeah, you let me know if you see a flesh pounder, because I'm not quite sure what these guys look like. Is he dead or
Let's
not?
turn up the temperature here.
Trying to decide if I should pick up Helldivers in a few weeks.
Still surprised by how maxed
You know, here's the thing. Just because I have other games that I thought are more fun than Helldivers 2, doesn't mean the game's not worth it. I mean, I could play the hell out of, like, no pun intended,
Gotta reload.
Starship Troopers and Insurgency and other games that are not on paper as polished as Helldivers 2. But that doesn't mean the Helldivers 2 is a bad game. Die already, dude. Is that my teammate lighting everything on fire? Holy crap.
Get lost. Just an adrenaline junkie, I guess.
God, my armor is freaking gone.
Have a great rest of your day.
Dude, that's crazy that you're gonna have enough Microsoft points to buy Helldivers, though. That's insane.
That wasn't that hard, huh?
Like, I know you sent me the information before on how to redeem Microsoft points. I just honestly, I don't know. For me, I just don't know if it's worth the hassle having to mess around with Bing and all
Looks like
that crap.
armor needs a little TLC.
All right, got our armor refilled, got all the other shit refilled. I'm gonna pick up a secondary weapon, even though I can't get much of anything. Shotgun. Yeah.
Marked.
Or assault
Ooh,
rifle.
Give it.
White phosphorus SMG. Dude, let's do SMG. This should be the boss wave. If you use your points, it's not really a big risk. True, I'm always a big fan of if you can save your money rather than wasting it. That's always a smart way to go. What is that? I already bought syringes. Damn it. What am I missing from autofill? Oh, okay. There we go. How many waves do we have? What? Are we doing another one after this? Wait, you can get scrap metal from attacking the car? Oh, this is the last wave, okay. Oh, Chimera, dude! Dude, okay, this thing. We played against this thing on hard mode. It kicked our ass. Activate turret, here we go. Oh my god, where's this thing at? Dude, it summons like all these freaking ghoul things.
Let me reload.
Dude, there's slow motion and is this. Holy crap. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Oh my god. What the hell's going on? I can't see shit. Dude, this is like a blur. Oh my god, what's it doing to me? What's it doing? faster. Get him, get him. Dude, he's almost dead. Come on.
That was excellent.
Oh my god, already? Get him out of freaking syringes. No!
Don't worry.
Oh shit, I'm down. Oh, we got him. Their Steam points could be used like that. Can spend them anything but giving clowns to clowns. That's a hell of a way of putting it. Apparently reward extra points plus weekly streaks. Same amount of points for minimal effort. Yeah, hey. I see what you did there. No, dude, I get it. Like, it seems like it's a cool system for earning free shit. But when you explained it to me, I was like, it just seems like a lot of extra crap to have to do, you know? Let's go back to Stronghold, I guess. Or we could just do another match real quick. I don't know. It's only like 11:15. What map are we voting on anyways? Nobody's even voting. Whatever. Wait, what? Okay, so this image is going around on Twitter of this chick that says, when I was 6, I killed my sister, and the courts were like, oh, it's fine, it's accidental, not even manslaughter, and then sealed the record like it was nothing. My family doesn't talk about it. This guy responded and said, I went out with a girl who told me she locked her younger sister in the trunk of her parents' car, then threw the keys in the sewer. Firefighters had to come save her. We broke up after I found out a guy I knew hooked up with her, and she pooped on him, apparently. Sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. He's only level 2? Oh, hell no. Hell no. Oh, hey, at least my operational budget went up. That's cool. Yeah, I think as you level up, I think your operational budget increases for each round. So what you could do is, as you level up your characters, and because there's like 6 different professions I think you can play. Where is, can I select that from right here? I can, right? Yeah. So as of right now, there's like 6 different characters. And you can, again, they all have different specializations and stuff. Operational budget for each of them goes up as you play them more. So you can kind of like curate your loadout to be the way you want to play after you get to like the 2nd or 3rd wave, and then you have enough points to unlock everything that you want for the round. So, bet she has a septum ring. Yeah, they usually do. I think they usually do. But to me, it feels like working earns me more than that. Dude, Avernum, honestly, this is one of those things. So I saw this crazy, insane, retarded post that said basically 63% of Gen Z wants to be an influencer, is what it said. Something along those lines. And it's like, that's frightening, because that's like 60% of a generation that doesn't want to have a conventional job and work. And they all look at it and go, but I could be famous, I could be popular, I could get more likes, and I could make money for it. And the sad reality that they don't understand, and this kind of goes hand in hand with like the girls who get into like OnlyFans and stuff, where they think that they're going to get rich after 1 month of putting all that shit out there, is when they don't make any money, it becomes depressing, because then they put their entire self-worth in correlation to that, because they're putting themselves out there not making anything, right? But it's like, if you would have just worked a part-time job at McDonald's, you'd make more in a week than you'd make a month of being an influencer or any of that kind of stuff, you know? The vast majority of work is BS. Well, yes and no. There are jobs that are completely worthless jobs that literally we could just have AI or machines or, you know, whatever do. And then there's jobs that actually require people who have some physical ability and skill to do. And that's more what I'm talking about, is those kind of jobs. I wanted to be the minister of my country when I was like 6. Yeah. Busy work for things we don't really need. Dude, no, for real. That's kind of like what I just was talking about, where there is a vast majority of work, of positions that were created for jobs that don't really have a function outside of looking good on paper. And those are things that absolutely we could get rid of, and they're not real jobs. Versus, okay, let's say, you know, your basic entry-level fast food job, or... And those are things that if we didn't have fast food restaurants, those jobs wouldn't exist, and you can make that argument too. But, you know, food service, construction, medical emergency stuff, fire department, military, police, like all sorts of things that are legitimate jobs that you wouldn't have to work 7 days a week and kill yourself doing. But they don't seem as glamorous as being a TikToker, being an influencer. And it's like, you guys need to have a real job first. You need to learn life skills, because just like how, you know, the NFL is made up of like, what, 1,800 players, and the rest of it's all guys that are backup players who are never going to play, you know, a day in the NFL. It's all the same. We could have AI streamers if we don't already. Well, we have AI e-girls. Those are a real thing. I mean, those have been a thing for a while. Where are my cats at? One of them's sleeping. I don't know where the other one went. Missing workers for infrastructure, critical jobs, stuff that impacts potable water, supplies, energy, food. Yeah, no, because those aren't the glorious jobs, okay? Those aren't the jobs these people want. That's the problem. They want to do things that seem glamorous, and they want to travel, and they want to get, you know, deals with brands, and it's so stupid, man. So we went to Costco tonight after work, and my oldest son is the one that has the hardest time, where he doesn't want to move. Granted, his entire life we lived basically in the same apartment complex. And so he's the one that's like, even if we're only going to move like 15 minutes away, he has this inability to allow change to happen. Like, for him, everything has to be the same all the time. And, you know, we were talking at Costco, and I'm like, you know, here's the thing. If we move, everyone's going to have their own room, and we'll have more space, and everything will be newer and updated, and life will just be easier, right? In that conversation, it comes up, he's like, hey, after we move, do you think we can go on another vacation? I'm like, no. I'm like, if we move, we're not going to be having a vacation probably ever again for a long time, dude. And he's like, oh, I thought once we moved. I'm like, it's going to cost us more money if we move somewhere that's decent and bigger and nicer. It's like, my wife was like, dude, that'll be like having a vacation. You'll be living in some place that you actually can enjoy, and we're not all smothered on top of each other. But again, the concept, he's 12, the concept of money and responsibilities and stuff, it just it didn't click for him. It's like he's thinking, oh yeah, we get moved and we'll go on a vacation. No, like, you've got that backwards completely. When real fallout happens, we're screwed when percentage of the survivors are TikTokers. Well, they won't be. That's the first thing. Plus, I'll just be a cannibal if that happened. I don't think you're kidding. No, so like, I know people, even though I'm not the most live off the land kind of guy. I've got plenty of ammunition and firepower. I know people who hunt and camp and fish and do all that survivalist shit anyways. And then I bring the ammunition, And there's plenty of, plenty of us who could kind of get together that I know we'd be fine. They'll be our source of nourishment if needed. I don't want to eat anybody, guys. I really don't want to have to eat anybody. Wouldn't mind working those jobs. Sadly, they don't pay enough. Yeah, dude. Oh, hey, Vernum, I forgot you've got Crohn's also. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you there. Facing a 3 million shortage of workers that are coming in years is a major problem on top of the workers we're already missing. Yeah, that's tough. That's clip that. What do we clip in? What did I say? I said I'm not gonna eat anybody. Come on, man. Don't want to eat anyone. Like, look, I'm not like my wife. If she had to like be the one to hunt and handle the raw meat, no, she'd be a vegetarian in a heartbeat. Me, yeah, I'd get over the having to kill the animal and gut it and skin it pretty fast, because it's like in a survival situation, yeah. Thinking fancy schmancy oil rig engineer, not waste disposal. Well, qualified for the work really is the problem. There's a lot of people who aren't qualified for anything. I mean, genuinely aren't qualified for anything. Look, I didn't go to, like, I went to a community college and almost had my associate's degree before I even turned 18, right? Only reason I didn't finish was I needed one more quarter to finish, and my parents got divorced, and I just didn't have the time to stick with it. Cannibal confirmed. I am not. I swear. So, that being said, I don't have any specialized education or training. Like, I didn't get a doctorate or a master's in anything. But I have plenty of years of experience in various jobs and plenty of actual lived experience and skill to offer. Like, I could go get a different job tomorrow that pays me decently. Would it be what I'm making now? Probably not, but when you start over, you're starting, fresh. You're kind of starting from scratch a lot of times. But unfortunately, so many kids who have no life experience, no work experience, and no work ethic, they start with nothing, and they expect that they're going to get handed everything on a silver platter, and it doesn't work that way. And those are the ones coming up in the workforce, and you go, yeah, no, we're fucked. We're screwed. Hopefully my country has enough of a labor shortage in the energy sector that makes them raise the wages. Some ate many of my potential children. Oh my god. I'm white. Yeah, that's a problem. Waste disposal is like 50K. Dude, my wife and I were talking about it because years ago, when the family business was more still all of us family for the most part, like my dad and my mom had gotten divorced, but all of us boys were still around. And I was making shit money. It was terrible. It was barely enough to live off of, but it was just enough to get by. I went and I applied places. Like I applied at LA Fitness. I applied at Starbucks to be like a manager, a shift supervisor, whatever. Like I had all these, and I got legitimate offers for decent jobs. Not great, and they didn't pay enough at the time to actually pay my bills. And my wife, she was working at like a daycare. She was making nothing, right? So I didn't take any of those job opportunities at the time, because at the time I'm like, well, I can't live off that because we'll be struggling too hard, right? If I'd have gotten in with one of those jobs and stuck with it, I'd probably be making twice what I'm making now at this point. Just because of, this was like 15 years ago. Now, that being said, things kind of work out the way they do for a reason, and we're just going to try to make the best of life the way it is now. But, I don't know. I'm dreading the day that, like, we all joke about boomers, right? And boomers, most of them are retired at this point. But I kind of dread the day that we're relying on the younger generations to actually take care of things. Like, I don't know how that's going to work. We're pretty much SOL at this point, so. All right, guys. I am going to hit the hay. Thank you guys for hanging. I know it was kind of like an impromptu stream. We didn't really discuss a whole lot. It was kind of a weird one, but anytime that we can just hang, chat, share our thoughts and stuff, I always appreciate it, with a curled wax mustache. No, this was back, like I said, Starbucks was still lame and gay back then, but it wasn't quite as bad. Not to the same extent. Not the way it is now. You can't pay me to go to Starbucks now. Screw that. Coffee's terrible. Everybody there is freaking weird. All that weird shit, man. Welcome to Costco. Yes, now Costco. If I got an offer to be like a manager at Costco, I'd be like, family business? What family business? See ya, bye. I don't want to be a business owner anymore. I'm going to go work as a Costco manager. Those people, yeah, they do very well. Yeah, 50K is okay in the Midwest. You can't, not over here. West Coast, 50K, you would not be able to pay for your own place. You'd have to, if you were making 50K a year in Washington State, the average place you'd have to rent, you'd probably have to have 2 roommates, each making 50K themselves, just to get by. So, it's insane. It's crazy. I wish we all had the answers to all this, but unfortunately, we're not the ones making the rules. So, alright guys, thanks for hanging. Thanks for chit-chatting. I'll catch you guys maybe Friday. We might stream Friday if we're not super busy. I don't know. It's all going to depend on how I'm feeling by the end of the week. Alright, Cage and the rest of you guys, I'm out. Take it easy. See y'all.